So here you can slide your tail forward and got the shoes off. And then have a seat, taking your, well, across your back, right about at the ball line or the tip of your shoulder blades. And then here with the hips down, supporting the base of your skull here with your thumbs across the occipital ridge. Hands can overlap or intertwine behind your skull. And just start looking straight ahead, curl forward a little bit, pulling the elbows down and to feel the scapula stretch across your back, widening the back here. And then bring your gaze up the wall to the ceiling and behind you, falling back into extension. The head's weight is in your hands and the elbows drop and sway open so you feel a big stretch across your chest into the upper shoulders. And then exhale, lift your head, using the hands to tip the head forward, pull it head forward, and you curve forward, elbows narrow in again, aim towards the navel, and then we arch back again. Feel as your head goes back, where your tail drops into the ground, your waistline lifts, the back arches in extension, and then exhale forward, chin to chest, pull the head and neck further to the air, dive your gaze down towards the belly, and we arch back again here. So the arms will open and fall wide as you go back into extension. And then as you lift to come forward, the elbows narrow in so the back broadens here. We do this again, just adjusting the roller where you get the amount of arch that you want. If it's not enough arch, the roller fits towards your waist. If it's too much arch, take the roller higher up towards your shoulders. If it's perfect, just enjoy it. We'll do one more. Here, taking it back, and now we'll start some knee folds coming forward. So first the extension, exhale coming up, pick your right knee up, and your gaze goes right down your midline. Elbows knit in, and then we lower the foot down slowly. The spine moves a little faster, it's got a bigger range to travel. The foot is grounded, and the head is back. And now coming up to your chin to your chest, exhale as you pull the left knee into the left chest. Your gaze right down your midline here. And then lowering the leg slowly as you move your head back, creating that extension in your spine. The foot is grounded and sinking into quicksand as you're in full extension. And then bringing the head up, picking the leg up, come forward, winding the back as you move into flexion, and then narrowing it as you move back into extension while you lower the leg. Last one like this, coming up with the left leg. Pull yourself forward, your gaze is still to the inside of both legs. And then release that leg down. Stretch your abdominal wall, you'll feel the stretch jaw to sternum to navel to tail. And then coming up here, we're at indentation, so you pick up the right knee and you twist the body towards that leg. Unwind, go back into extension as you lower the leg down. And then coming up, exhale and rotate to the left, left leg lifts. Inhale, take it down, slow motion. We're trying to get that control from the hip flex to your psoas muscle. And then coming up, twisting to the right, as the right knee lifts. Unwind and coordinating your movements here, full extension of the spine when the foot is grounded and pressing into the floor. Coming up here and then rotating to the left. Lowering the leg and arching back again. Let's do one more set like this, coming up and twisting to the right, inner thigh, armpit to inner knee. Unwind and lower the leg down here. And your head back. And then pull up, twist to the left. Pelvis stays steady on the ground, no weight in the opposite hip. And then as you lower the foot, come back to center, fall back over the roller. And then let's just lift the head and bring your hands to your thighs and then pull yourself up to sitting. Good, this should have warmed up your abs a little bit as well as open your chest. Now let's bring the roller under your knees. And we'll go ahead and lay down onto your back. Use your core to support you in your roll back, maybe arms forward or hands to your thighs. Look down, curl the tail up, and articulate the low back to the sacrum, to the hips, to the waist, to the ribs, to the shoulders, neck and head lay down. and then pull the roller in. You can pick it with your feet and grab it with your hands. Hips up in a shoulder bridge, and the roller goes across under your sacrum. You're going to drape your arms around the outer edge of the roller to hold it in position. And then here, we'll pull the right knee into your chest, extend the leg up to the ceiling, stretch the foot up, soft point. And we inhale the lower leg all the way down, tap the heel down, lengthen the leg, and then you exhale to pick it up. And we're going pretty slow here. You want to have the legs move it, match the length of your inhale and exhale. So inhale all the way down. There flows to the toes, soft point, not gripping. Tap the heel, reach a little longer. Exhale, pull the belly deep, and then you pick up the leg. And you bring it back far enough over your chest, over your shoulder to feel a stretch in the hamstring at the back of the thigh. And glide the leg forward again. Keep reaching up, as if your toes were painting the ceiling, down the wall in front of you, and finally landing that paintbrush on your mat. And then we lengthen, exhale, and we paint in reverse from the ground up and across the ceiling and over your shoulders. One more time, inhale to glide forward. Every time you move the leg, you're reaching a little further out into space. If when you lower the heel, you need to bend your knee, that's okay. If it's too much arch in your spine, exhale and let's lift and bring it up. Not rushing, really feel that work and feel the stretch. Now inhale to bend the knee and then exhale to lower the foot down, parallel to the other one. Lower toe ball, heel, and here we pick up the left leg. Embrace it in, just lift it, and then extend the leg, reach up and back. See how that stretch feels in the back of your leg, and then go forward on the inhale. Toes reaching out long, away from the knee, away from the hip. Tap the floor down, and then exhale and pull the leg up. Always want to lift weight with an exhalation to protect your back. Inhale forward, reach long, long, long. Stretch the muscles in your legs. Try to imagine that the joints are opening, create a little more space there. Exhale, press lightly down with the arms as you drag the leg up. Using your hip flexor muscles here, and then you stretch it out, down. Remember that right leg is still active. You're not letting it like slump out to the side. Keep the inner edge of your foot pressing into the floor. Exhale to pick the leg up. And we'll do two more. Inhale, stretch across the ceiling, down the wall, reach further than before. Heel touches down, lengthen, stretch it, exhale, and then pull the belly deep as you lift the leg up as you're exhaling. One last one. All the way forward and long. Press the heel and exhale. Lengthen and then lift. From the top, bend the knee and replace the foot down parallel to the other one. Settle both feet and spread the feet into the ground like they're sinking into sand. Now, we'll pull the right knee in and then exhale, pull the left one in also. And here, extend both legs up to the sky. Exhale, rotate and pull the legs apart sideways. And exhale, pull the inner thighs together to bring the feet up, tap the heels. And then the legs draw apart and down. Try to have them work equidistant from your center here, and then lift. Come up a little slower than you would like to, so you feel the work of your muscles and not just the rush of like accelerating up to just get that done, right? We don't want to use momentum here. We want to actually feel the muscles work to close the legs together at the top of the movement. And then let's bring it apart again. Take a moment at the bottom to just like with gravity, pull the legs, giving the muscles a little more stretch, and then exhale to lift. Now one leg at a time with the left leg vertical and the right leg goes out. A little more weight in your left hip, maybe push down harder into the right arm. So you engage your core to prevent the body from rocking to the right. Exhale and then drag that leg up. The breath is long, you should be running out of air at the top of the movement. Now the right leg vertical and the left leg draws an arc through the air from the ceiling, down the wall. Hold the right side down, try to rotate your body a little to the right as the left leg goes out, and now exhale and pull it up like you're pushing sand with your leg. And here we go for the right. Out you go. Resist gravity on the descent. Hips heavy on the roller. Exhale and resist momentum on the lift. Doing one more here for the left leg. Foot open and down. Exhale to lift it on up. Do you run out of breath or with exhale at the top of the movement? Now here, bend your knees. Exhale, lower the feet down. Lift your hips. Rotate the rollers so you're on a fresh spot. Both on the roller and maybe under your body, on your sacrum. And here, pull the right knee into your chest. And exhale the left one. Extend the right leg up for bicycle. So the right leg goes forward and long. Tap the heel down if possible. Slide the foot in as the other leg is reaching out. Imagine you're on a waterproof Peloton bike, right? So feel the lift of the leg, feel the press of the legs through the water. They have designed bikes that they put in like pools so that people work harder to do the pedaling, but they're also, somehow I think they were made as two different things, but there are also bikes that they've hooked up to run energy systems in buildings where the gyms are. And then we can reverse when you're ready. Slide the legs forward across the ground, scoop the air up at the top of your foot, and bring the leg back as far as you can over the chest to feel that stretch in the back of the leg as well as the front of the leg. The leg extends out along the ground. And then we'll lift the one leg up, bend the knee, and press both feet down. Lifting your hips, we're sliding the roller out from underneath. All right, and then just stretch your legs forward, stretch your arms back, feel that length here for your body. We're doing a roll up now. So we're lifting the arms, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale, pull yourself up, equal work on both sides of the body. Slide over your legs and take a stretch here, maybe flexing the feet, reaching as far forward as you can, and lengthening out through your heels. From here, stack your spine bottom to top, bend your knees, heels are grounded, toes up, and we're rolling back into hundreds. So arms can extend forward, palms in, lift the tail as you sink your waist back, rolling over the glutes, over the hips, down you go, and as you come down to rest on the tip of the blades, pull your knees in, arms long at your side, extend the legs. Pump the arms as you inhale, and exhale. Head is high. You're trying to pinch the ribs in the front of the body together to spread them open behind you. You want to only feel the bottom of the scapula here, the tips of the shoulder blades, pressing down into the ground to pitch forward and up with your chest. It's a deep breath in, let the whole body expand, ribs and belly, and then exhale, pump the air out of your lungs, knitting the abs together here. So the legs position can change. If it's too much for you, bend the knees in. If it's not enough for your abs, take the legs a little lower. You can also rest your head down, but if you do so, please take your knees into your chest or bring your legs higher. Try to imprint the waistline into the ground, keeping the chest wide. The arms go up and down actively here, pushing the air into the ground and up to the ceiling. One more breath. Legs squeeze into each other, curling up the inner thighs. And then you fold the knees in and lay down. Slowly, of course, not slamming your head into the ground, but now turn your head side to side, releasing your neck. And then we can come back to center and extend the legs forward for roll up. You would have the option here of putting the hairband around your feet. So if you don't use the band, we lift the arms up and then back towards your ears, keeping the ribs grounded, don't let them float up. We lift the arms, lift the head, neck, and chest, lift down your midline, exhale, pull yourself forward, bending over the length of your legs, your belly pulled back like there's arms around your waist. The C-curve spine here. And then lift the tail. It's going forward, up the wall in front of you. The arms can go a little higher if you can support the articulation of your spine into the ground. If you're falling through chunks of the body into the floor, You may need the band or at least lower the arms along the ground. Lift the arms here, head, neck, chest, exhale, pull, press the heels down. If they're lifting, you may want to grab ankle weights for your legs. You know what, and the green strap is heavier than the red one here, so that will give you a little more support, or you can just try choking up on the band. And sometimes it works best, while you're warming up, to maybe only go down like to the upper pull position, and then you can lift from there. So you still maintain the work in your core, but you're not falling those last few inches of the last range of motion. That was really good. And take it down. And even if you've been doing well with the full going down to the ground, you might want to try stopping in your upper pull and then lifting. It's almost a little harder that you don't get to bounce off the floor and then come up, right? So around here, chest is wide. And let's take it down. You can choose your range of motion, the position of your arms, and what accessories you're using here for this action. We're gonna lift one more time up. Chin to chest, press the legs into the ground. Lift the cup up and over, push you on the side. And you dive the head down as you pull the waist back. And then let's roll back last time here. The higher the arms are, the more control it takes to go down. Don't cheat yourself and just like flop onto the floor. You don't want to go down in chunks. You want to be sure that spine is articulated. Now let's grab your bare bend here for the single leg circles. We'll pull the right knee into your chest, do the band by your side, hug it in. And then release it slightly. Left hand on the left hip, keep the pelvis steady, and we circle the knee here. Small circles in the air to stir the leg on the hip socket. Just warm up that hip. And then when you're ready, you pause and reverse the circles. Keep that left side grounded as the right knee goes out to the right. And then pull that knee into your chest. And then pull the knee slightly to the outside of the right rib cage, like you're trying to tuck the kneecap in under the armpit. Press the left hip or the left thigh down into the floor for a little bit more stretch of the inner thigh of the right leg and also more stretch across the front of the pelvis. Now let the knee lift to center, switch hands, the left hand on the knee. It's a tight diagonal, aiming that kneecap for the left armpit or the left shoulder. Take your right hand into the crease between the pelvis and leg and push the crease away from you to elongate the right waistline while you're here. And then we'll bring that right knee back, open it out to the side of the foot might be on the ground or not. Pull the left hip down, you have to hold it harder, and then you rotate the torso down into the ground on the left side. Exhale, pull that right knee up, left hand on the knee. You can extend the right arm out to the side and then bring the knee across, aim it to the wall, and then maybe slightly towards the floor as long as you keep the right shoulder blade down. You feel that diagonal stretch into the back, into the glute, even into the hamstring. And exhale, unwind the body. Hip is down, pull the knee into your chest. One last time. And then let's release the right leg forward. Shake out both legs, and you'll notice the drop on the right side of the body, the extra length in the right leg. So we'll pull the left knee in, pull it in tight with both hands, reach out long through the sits bone to keep the waist long on the left. Now here, right hand on the right hip, left hand on the knee, and we stir the legs, circling it here. I promise you we'll get to the single leg circles. I'm just taking a detour here to warm up the hips. But this is delicious too, so hopefully you're enjoying it. Your hips are loving this release. Complete the circle and now reverse. Working to keep the pelvis steady here on the mat, even while you're moving the leg here with that bent knee. See if you can feel your oblique abdominals and the transversus, the deepest one, stabilizing your hips, your pelvis on the mat. And now we pull the knee into the chest again, and then slightly to the left. So it's like you're imagining you can pull the knee all the way up into the left armpit while keeping the right hip down. Feel that stretch opening the front of the pelvic girdle. And now we release it, right hand to the knee. Take your left thumb into the crease between the left pelvis and the left thigh. Push that down and then pull the knee up and in, aiming it for the right shoulder. Also helping you spread open the space here by your SI joints, by your sacrum. Back to center. And now right hand on right hip bone. Open the left knee out to the side. You can lower the edge of your left foot to the mat. And then lightly press down with your hand, not on the knee, but on the upper thigh, to open into sort of this figure four stretch. Sometimes also it can be helpful to have something underneath the leg here. You can use your hand, or if you had a ball, like a toy ball or a pillow, even a shoulder, even a yoga block, maybe that could help support the weight of the leg as you open the hip. Now we'll bring the leg up, switch hands, the right hand holds the left knee, and we pull the knee across the body, extending the left arm and looking out at your hand. The torso spirals, chest to the sky, hips to the wall. And reach through that sits bone again to feel some length in that left side. Exhale, unwind, shoulder, right shoulder, waist, left hip, and then pull the knee in one more time. And then release it forward and down. Shake the legs out. Maybe wag your tail side to side or rock from side to side with the hips. And just feel that length in those legs now. Now, finally, we're going to take the bear bend here. But that was a totally worthwhile thing to try. I hope you agree. So we'll bring the right leg in and take the sole of the foot, wrap it with the band, and then extend the leg up to the ceiling. When you lift the leg, you might need to slight bend in the knee to keep the leg vertical. That's all good. Soft point with the foot. And then we're circling. Elbows are down. We bring the right leg over to the left, keeping the right hip on the mat. The low out to the side, an external rotation. You're pressing through the upper arms to help you stabilize the torso. Short inhale as you start the circle, and a longer exhale all the way out, around, and up, and then finally to the hamstring stretch at the top. So if you picture that you're drawing a clock face in the air, right, you go all the way around, count the numbers off in your mind, and then we'll inhale for the first 3 hours, and then exhale from 4 all the way around and up to 12. Do that again. You push the foot out into the bend as you're pulling the bend back with your arms, anchoring the upper body with that action, and let's do one last circle like so. Picture how the leg is stretching a little further into space with every rep. And now pause at the top, reverse. Out to the right with the left hip dropping into the floor. Circle the leg, stretch it away from the hip, bring it up high to the ceiling, and do that again. The short inhale and then the long exhale engages the abdominal wall. You want to feel the navel sinking deep, deep, deep in towards your spine. And reach. And keep pressing out with the foot. Keep pulling back with the upper arms into the mat at your side. And again, a nice flowing, continuous circling of the leg here in the air. Reaching further and further out from the hip, from the pelvic girdle, with every breath, with every circle. And be sure to get to the point at the top where you are challenging that hamstring leg, giving it a little chance to find a stretch. Then here at the top, we'll pause and we'll take this into the band around the right hand. And holding the left side down, the right leg goes out to the right. The elbow can help support the weight of the leg. As you push it into the ground, you're still also pulling back and down with the left hip bone. And then rock the leg small, nothing crazy. Just a gentle little bounce here to work through those upper inner thigh muscles, and also giving that femur head a chance to roll on the joint. Exhale, pull the leg up, switching hand at the top, and take the leg across the body, extend the right arm out, and look at that. Here we go so far over that we lift the hip, but not so far that we lift the shoulder blade. Anchor that down, and then we rotate the leg towards the ground from the finger, so the knee goes down and the toes also point down. Pull the leg towards the shoulder. Get the stretch you're looking for in both the hamstring and the low back and the glute. Exhale, unwind the body to lift the leg up. Give yourself another little hamstring stretch here at the top of the movement, and then fold the knee into chest. The band comes off as you embrace the knee in, and then slide that leg forward. Check it out. This series can take up some time, but it's a really good use of your time to get the hip release, the length in the hamstrings. So now here we pull the left leg in and place the band on that foot. The leg lifts up to the ceiling here. We do a little soft point and flex. And with a soft point, however, reaching up to the ball of the foot, Barbie doll foot, and slide the elbows closer to your hips so the neck is longer, shoulders are down. And then here we circle the leg across the body on the inhale, keeping the left hip down and then reach low. Rotate externally as the leg goes out to the left, and then come back to neutral at the top of the movement. So push forward into the strap. Let that band support the leg as you bring it around in this beautiful oval. Reaching further and further into the support of the band. Really trying to create some space in the joint. And find that short breath and that long, short inhale, the long exhale. To help you find more support against the weight of the leg in your core, but also to just start to strengthen your understanding of how the breath can support your movement. We'll do one more in this direction. The rotation of the leg on the hip socket really helps it fit better into the joint surface. We come here at the top and now reverse. Externally rotate, take it to the left, and then exhale, sweep it low. Internally rotate as it comes across and then up to the sky. And reach again. You're both enjoying the support and then also pushing out into it, sort of challenging that. Where the leg is, the opposite side of the body sinks into the ground. Do one more. Go a little further with each repetition. And now here at the top, left hand will hold both ends of the band. And then you hold the right hip grounded. Take the leg out to the left. External rotation here. And then rock the leg towards your shoulder and away. Exhale, let's lift the leg up. Switch hands at the top and release vertical. And then extend your left arm. Follow that with your gaze and then bring the leg all the way over and down, giving yourself a nice spiral or rotation through your spine at both ends, at the tail and also through the neck. You pull that leg towards your shoulder, rotate internally, and maybe find a little bit more rotation through your spine here, twisted. Exhale, unwind as you lift the leg up. You're pulling it back and down, bending with your body into the mat surface. At the top, reach the leg high, get a stretch that feels right for your hamstring, not too much for your knee. And then we pull the knee into your chest. Bend to the side. I'll get in here. And then release, slide it forward. Shake out the legs. You should both feel nice and lengthened, nice and open across your hips. And then we'll pull the left knee in, hold onto the back of the thigh, lift the right leg up to the ceiling, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, roll forward and up, rolling like a ball at the front of your mat. Ease your hands to your thighs, more difficult, hands to the shins, elbows wide. So pick up your feet with the toes dangled, and you curl the waist back as you come into a deeper upper curl. Hands press back, shins press out. Feel that, firm up your arms and firm up your connection to your abs. We lift the tail to roll back to the shoulder blades, hips in the air, exhale, come forward and back. Your gaze remains down at your belly so that you keep your head and neck off the ground. You also control that with how much effort you use. Inflate the back with the inhale, then roll. Exhale, to come all the way up to balance, and one more. Just go to the tip of the blade with the inhale, your exhale starts when you're still rolling back, and then changing direction to come forward. We're rolling back now into the ab series. So right hand to right ankle, right on the shin, left hand on the shin below the knee. Pick up the leg, curl the tail up, float the other leg off the ground, push up with your shin to delay your descent to your upper arm curl, and pull the knee in tight. Inhale, we switch left hand to left ankle. Exhale, switch right hand to right ankle. And keep moving here. Use the connection of your hand to your leg to come up a little deeper with that bend through the chest wall. You're pleating your front ribs together to spread the back ribs open. If you think about a slinky pressing the front of it together, that'll give you the idea. Your gaze is fixed down on your navel. You want to keep the gaze down to keep the back of the neck long until it's stretched there. We'll end after this one. Pull the left leg in, pull the right leg to meet it, legs together. Now inhale, arms and legs lift to the sky, circle the arms wide as you embrace the knees into your chest. And you lift, open the shape, and exhale, close it in. I think the body's a hammock, and then exhale, the body's a ball. Two more. Stretch it wider, as long as you keep your waist pushing down. And one more time, chin to chest, embrace it in, and layer it down. So here, let's do a little modification on the scissors by pulling the roller across under your sacrum. If you don't have a roller, you can always use a book or a yoga block. The knees pull in, and then we're lifting both legs up to the ceiling. The right leg goes back over your shoulder, the left leg goes forward. And then we inhale to switch the legs, and exhale to switch again. Finding that split in that medial plane. Legs pass by each other. As soon as one leg is moving, the other leg is moving in the opposite direction. Just feel the weight of your skull into the ground and the suspension of the neck here. This option gives your neck a little bit of a break, right? And then we'll bring both legs up to the ceiling. Bend your knees, lower your feet down. You're grounded with your feet. You lift the hips and slide the roller out from under you again. Okay. So here, we're coming up to pull the knees in, hands to the back of your thigh, upper arm curl. Round your back so you can get the tip of the blades grounded, and then extend the legs up. Squeeze them together, both hands behind your head. Pull the head up and forward and down. Now this is small because the weight of your legs moves forward as you inhale, and exhale, bring the legs up, take your time, and you're bouncing through this movement. So inhale to slide your toes across the ceiling. Feel the increasing work through the abdominals and legs go forward, and then exhale, pull the belly deep as you breathe out, and let the legs come back up as vertically as possible. Maybe bend your knees a little if your hamstrings are tight at the top of the movement, but then straighten them as the legs reach out when you can. And you're being very aware of how this feels in your abs and your back, right? When the legs start to move forward, you feel the increasing load to the abdominals. They're working to prevent the pelvis from tipping. It's your deeper muscles, your psoas, your hip flexor, that is paying the legs out and then pulling them up. Pulling that head forward, pulling the elbows in and down, helping you find more connection to your upper abs, which will also fire more of the lower abdominals. Exhale to lift it, and then we can fold the knees in, lay the head down, and then rock forward and up to sitting, where we're going to use the TheraBand around our feet to do some roll back with rotation instead of the last one in the abdominal series of the ankles. Back. Should have done that before I put the strap on. Okay, so here we go. So you wrap this around your hands, sit up tall, the knees can be a little bit, rotate to one side, and you lift your elbows, rolling them wide, and then you're curving back. You're going to go down like 1 inch to 2 inches alongside to the outside of the spine, come down to the tip of the blade, and then exhale. Pull yourself up, maintaining that rotation.
at the top of the line. Yeah. And then go back again, twist. You can start to lengthen the legs a little bit to give you more support. And then pull up. You get that rotation here through the body. Continue with that. I'm going to grab you some weights for your feet. It'll be a lot better for you. All the way back. And then come up to the end of that abdominal. And then come on the top and start here and down the other side. And you do this hip, the opposite hip as you go down. And now we're pulling up. And that's exhale the hard part. Good. And center, one more time. All right. Yeah, so the weights are really an advantage. There's some exercises where if you were in a Pilates studio, we would have a weighted mat that would have a strap across the bottom of it. So you guys all do amazing that we're doing it just with like yoga mats. Just think about that. So, and you'll build that strength and you'll build with like timing with the breath as you continue to practice. So here we're going into our spine stretch. So if your hamstrings are tight, please elevate your hips by sitting on the yoga blocks, or if you're at home, you could sit elevated on like a small ottoman or some books. So the legs are apart, a little wider than your hips. You sit upright, so there's a little arch in your mid-back. Arms foot forward, parallel to the ground. Press the arms down as if your fingertips are on the edge of the pool, and as you're standing by the pool side, you're going to press down to lift your body foot upwards, lifting the chest higher towards the top of the water level. And then look down, chin to chest, and then exhale, bringing it forward, out, over, and down in an arc. Suck the waist back as you curve forward here. And then we stack the spine from the bottom to the top. And as you lift the chest through the frame of the arms, your head lifts high into the sky. Look down, exhale, round forward here. Curve it over, stretch this out. Bend your knees if you need to get a stretch that feels good in your back. But then as you stack your spine, you can straighten the legs. A lot of times, particularly when you start Pilates, or particularly if you have an occupation or a hobby that makes you sit a lot, you're tightening up the whole back arm of your legs. And then this will be more difficult for you. You'll need to elevate the hips in order to get some movement here through your spine. Lifting to come all the way up. And quite honestly, who isn't sitting a lot at a desk, right? Unless you have a standing desk. So bend over and down one more time. Breathe out completely. Hands to your feet, to your ankles, to your legs, wherever you can reach. Stay there, breathe into your back. And then we'll stack the spine and come on. All right, so we're going to use the magic circle today for our side legs. You can lay down onto your side. Good idea to have the knees bent. And if you want, you can turn your mat so you can see me while you're doing this. It would probably be helpful if you haven't done this before. So then you take the upper leg so that the handle of the magic circle is above the ankle, below and both of that, same on both legs, and below the swell of your calf. And then maybe prop yourself up on your elbow. If it's too much for your neck, you can extend the arm and lay your head down. But you could be like this if you need it to be. Then we extend the legs, holding the circle. The legs move forward about, 15, 25 degrees from the angle of your spine. And now here we're going to press the top leg down. Top hand presses in front of your chest into the ground, and then exhale, lift the top leg up. So inhale to press. Exhale and slowly rise. Inhale, push down.
Exhale, resist the lift. The legs are long. Keep reaching them for the far wall. That doesn't mean through the toes pointing. It means like reach out through the center of the foot. Press here, slowly up, and one more time. You're gonna feel that work through your inner thighs as you press, and then slowly pay out. Now from here, you really press into that top hand, into the mat, and we're gonna pull the circle up, lifting both legs, staying balanced on your side hip, and then bring it down. Inhale to lift, exhale and lower. Lift again here, exhale and bring it down. Good. Keep your hips stacked, try not to let your top hip fall backwards. Sometimes I'll do that just in order to bring the leg higher, but we really want to feel this on your sideline. So top hip forward more than you think. And exhale down, one more time to lift. And then bring it down. Okay, good. Now we will bend the knees in towards the chest and then take the legs inside of the circle. This is why it's got pads on both sides. Same place, above the ankle bone, below the wider part of the calf, and then stretch the legs forward. And press the wall. It's standing on its side seam. Your bottom leg is pushing it down, and the top leg is connected to the upper part of the handle. So we're going to pull up, and this firms up your glute medius right here on the outer thigh. If you put your hand on it, you can feel a fire, and then release down. Inhale to lift, and exhale to release. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale and down. So these are called Pilates magic circles or sometimes Pilates rings. I would say probably like the price online can range from, $14 to about $30. It's a great tool not only for strengthening and adding resistance to the work, but also to help you feel more connected from one part of the body to another. Then we'll do one more here. And release. Now the bottom leg is pressing. If you lower the top one down, the bottom leg can keep that one vertical. Pull the top knee out, lift the leg, extend it out, and then lower it so it rests on top of the top handle. And you press it down just a fraction to hold the magic circle steady as you bring the bottom leg up and then down. So lift that bottom leg and exhale, bring it to the floor. No rush. A lot of these, the slower you do them, the more work you're going to feel. Try not to look at your feet, but try to look straight ahead. That way your neck stays in line with the rest of your spine. And you're not pulling your body into a flex curve, which is where a lot of us are living most of the day anyway. So that length from your jaw all the way down to the pubic bone to the tailbone. And one more of these. Inhale to lift up and exhale to bring it down. Okay, so now we're going to just drop the circle and we're going onto our stomachs here to do some glute work. This is awkward to get into position. I may end up coming around to help you guys, but you want to start laying down and you will take the little pad here into like the crease of your butt cheek and your thigh, and then you take the other handle in to the little inverse curve above the heel, like so. Yeah, good. Very nice. And then you would lower your head down and you just squeeze to fire your hamstrings and release. Inhale to press and release it here. Inhale, squeeze, release. It's not a big movement, but you can make it feel very intense. My hamstring is yelling at me right now, by the way. Like, whose idea was this? And now we're going to squeeze gently and then pull the knee up, pressing the hip down, lower the knee, and slightly release the circle. Press in, lift the knee, hip down, lower the knee, release.
2 more. Press in to lift, hip bone presses into the mat, lower the thigh, slight release here, and one more to squeeze, lift, down, and release. Reach back, grab the circle, and we're stretching the leg out, maybe shake it out a little bit, and let's see how we can get to the other side, right? So, again, you want to fit the curve of it into the curve of your butt right there. And then take the other end in, and the inverse curve above your heel. I know, it's a challenge. So, and then you can overlap your hands and rest your forehead on those hands. So from here, we squeeze and then release. Inhale to press and then open. Squeeze here. Exhale, release. Press again. Exhale, releasing. One more like that. Then you keep the hip bone pressed into the ground. We're going to pick the knee up. Hip extension, squeeze, release, down. So squeeze, bring it up. Actually, keep the squeeze as you lower it, and then release slightly at the end. So you squeeze, hip bone down, push the knee up. It won't go far, right? But you want to get a lift and then lower it and release it. Once more to press in, lift, lower, and down. And I was mistaken, do one more. And release. All right, and we'll take this circle forward. Sit back in your child's pose. Round your back. Hang your head down. Breathe into your low spine. And then stack your body to come up. We're turning around to do the other side leg series. All right, so here, the circle between the legs above the ankles, extend the legs out, your leg on your side, and then reach long, press down, and then lift. Press here, and lift it slowly. Press out, reach long. Exhale to rise, and do that again. Bring it out and away. Thanks for coming for as much of the class as you could. Appreciate it. And you press and reach up and out. One more to press and lift. Now you press your hand into the mat in front of your chest. You pick up both legs and the circle and down. Inhale to rise here. Balance on the outer hip. Hips stay stacked as you lift the circle and lower it. Lift again and bring it on down. We rise here and exhale to sink. And do that again. And down. Bend the knees. We grab hold of the circle and we take the feet inside, the legs inside. And you're pressing up with the top leg into the handle and down with the bottom leg into the handle. Extend the legs out. Anchor the side. The circle is vertical. And then push the top leg up and release it. So the bottom leg keeps the circle grounded. We're working to fire this upper outer hip. Lift here. Exhale, bring it down. Do that again. And release. Pull it up. Release it down. One more here. Hold the circle steady with the bottom leg. Thread this one out and then on top. Feel for the place where it belongs. And then we press that down just a little to bring the bottom leg up and then down. Lift again and then lower. Inhale up, use your upper inner thigh and then bring it down. Lift here and to the ground and lift again and exhale down. We'll add one more here and then down, and then you can just push the circle away. coming on up. Now I'd like to use the circle next for your swan, which is the upper back extension. So with this one, thanks for coming. And then stretch out onto your stomach here. So the circle is going to be vertical here in front of you. And you take the heel of your hand on top of it, and then the other heel of the hand comes up with it. And you reach along through your fingertips. You're definitely pressing into the heel of your hand, not below, like below the palm. Right? And the ears are between the arms, legs to be a little bit apart. We're going to press down into the circle until we're putting the gaze forward and uplifting the chest as you push down. This will access the upper back muscles, so it will give you a lift, and then you release down from the hips to the belly, to the chest, to the neck and the head. So pull the circle down and pull yourself forward and up. If you rise here, it gives you support for that lift, that suspension in the air, and then exhale and release. And again, push down. Sometimes it's the ankle. Yes, that's good. Beautiful. And release it down. Can you feel your upper back firing with the muscles between your shoulder blades? Do that again. You also feel the stretch in the belly as maybe you lift higher than you would using your hands for the roll. And then release to the floor. And just one last one like that. Going up here. And releasing on down. Press that down, and another child's pose here. Hang the head, let the back stretch. And then stack the body coming up. Okay, so one last thing with the circle. We're going to lay on your back, that'll feel good, and take the circle between your legs. And then we'll take it on the outside of the legs again. So here's for your inner thighs specifically. So it goes sort of at the middle of the thigh. You never want it at the knees. And then your feet are a little bit forward of your knees and apart, a little wider than they normally would be. But you're going to walk the feet in slightly, so you're already feeling the squeeze and the press of the circle trying to push the legs apart. Now inhale, squeeze in with the legs around the circle to make it more of an oval, and then exhale, open slowly. Inhale to press. And exhale, slowly open. Right, so I know, shades of the old, was it Suzanne Summers and the Thigh Master? There's a reason that thing sold millions of items, right, of units. So we're going to press in. And exhale and open here. Inhale to press. Exhale, release. Take your time. Keep working it on the opening. Now we're doing a 2-breath version of this. So inhale to press. As you exhale, just pull the belly deep, breathe out. Inhale, squeeze more. You've got a second gear you didn't know you had. And then exhale, open with control. And now inhale to press in. Exhale, the belly deepens. Inhale, squeeze more. Exhale and open. And then again here. Now, one of the things that's really nice about this is when you squeeze in, you kind of widen the glute here, and you feel that you're getting some release across the back of the sacrum and the SI joints. Inhale, squeeze harder. Exhale, and then release, and you can feel sort of the front of the pelvic girdle opening between the hip and crest, and the back is narrowing a little bit, hugging the sacrum. So sometimes when I have clients who come in with low back pain and it's sort of an unbalanced pelvic girdle, this is a great exercise for them to get some release across that part of the low back. And it's not just because they're strengthening the inner thighs, it's actually because using the muscles to press helps pull the glutes wider and helps them balance. And we release again. And then let's take the circle out. Thread the legs through the circle. Feet are grounded again, and they'll be apart as wide as you need them to be to hold the circle in position. And then we're pulling the legs open and exhale to release.
I would say that the angle of the circle should probably be perpendicular to the angle of your thigh. It's the most comfortable, and I think it also gives it the best angle for work. So watch when you bring both legs equally out to the side away from center, or is one leg we're going further out than the other one. We're always trying to work for balance in the body with Pilates and better alignment throughout. Because we know when you have those two things, you access your body's the biggest capacity for both flexibility and strength. And again, here, as you push out, you can feel these upper outer thighs engage, and then they release slowly. And just one more. And then bring it on back. Okay, we can take the circle out. And we really should be done, but there is one that's fun if you have a minute. So this is a balance point exercise where you're on your sacrum, pulling your legs into your chest. You curl back. This is crazy. It's like a circus act. You pull the knees into your chest and you extend the legs out to the circle. Pull the knees in and slide it forward left. Pull it in. Take it through the circle. Look at you all. Pull it in and then take it out. Pull in here. Extend right. Good for flexibility. Really good for your core strength. Do one more if you can. Yes. I know. There's a reason Pilates is known for core work, right? Yeah. There we go. So thank you so much for being here and playing today. And I will see you next week, hopefully.